Welcome to the U.S. latest news channel. Watch the video to the end to find out the current and breaking news about the Russian war in Ukraine. The aid bill of $12 billion, which will be given to Ukraine only within the scope of the government fund that has entered into force on a short-term basis, has been approved by the United States. According to media reports, it was said that the approval process took place on Friday. The information contained in this bill also began to appear gradually. It was learned that 230 people voted positively and 201 people voted negatively in the voting held for the purpose of support. The United Nations Secretary General, who made statements about the Ukrainian-Russian war, also focused on the issue of annexation during his speech. He condemned the attacks carried out by Russia and said that the world is moving in a dramatic direction with this war. At the same time, the illegality of the attacks carried out by Russia, he noted, also does not comply with UN requirements. He said that Russia, one of the 5 permanent states on the Security Council, should be more careful to ensure the necessary conditions. Guterres continued his statements with the following words. He is jealous of the work done by Russia on the rights of the regions located within the territory of Ukraine and cannot be found appropriate when examined from an international point of view, he said his words. At the same time, he also expressed Russia's opposition to all the necessary international rules. In his statement, Guterres said that work is being done to protect the territorial integrity of Ukraine. He made statements about the fact that the referendums after the Russian invasion took place during the war and were not included in the constitutional framework of Ukraine. During the statements he made, he continued to target Russia. He said that due to the aggressive attitude displayed by Russia, the negative progress of the global economy may continue, and Russia should take a step back in order to get out of this situation. He stated that there is a war that needs to be finished in order for the aid to reach the result and to stay away from the sad consequences. While continuing his explanations, he did not forget to address the world. He stressed that a destructive and purposeless war should be ended as soon as possible and that work should continue so that the necessary national conventions can be fulfilled. As a result of the attack in Zaporizhia, many people lost their lives. According to the information released, 30 people were reported to have died. At the same time, it was announced that 88 people were injured in the attack organized by Russia. Some of the people killed in the Russian missile attack are children. In addition to civilian casualties during the attack, it was announced that a police officer was among the decedents. As the Russian attacks continue, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said that there should be more aid and support given to Ukraine. He also made statements about the referendum in the territories captured by enemy soldiers. He reported his reaction to Russia with statements declaring that they were reacting to this situation. Zelensky, who also met with the Japanese Prime Minister recently, thanked him for the support that Japan has given. He also expressed his gratitude for the statement made recently by the Japanese Prime Minister at the United Nations General Assembly condemning Russia for its nuclear blackmail. During the statements made by Zelensky, he also explained that he was pleased with the attitude of the world towards Russia due to its attacks. At the same time, the Prime Minister, who is grateful for all the support that the world has given to Ukraine so far, underlined that this assistance should continue until the war ends. He also explained that short and long-term economic assistance should continue to support Ukraine, which is on the agenda. During the Russian-Ukrainian war, these aids will undoubtedly play an important role in eliminating the damage to Ukraine. Zelensky said that the war, which attracted the attention of the whole world due to the fact that it is among the current issues, is a topic that constantly comes to the leaders, and that Japan's support for Ukraine with the infrastructure project it has done is a positive development decried by Zelensky. He also said that these benefits should continue to be increased by the whole world. While it is obvious that Japan openly supported the Ukrainian side during the war, the statements made by Ukraine also confirmed this situation and invited the Japanese side to Ukraine in 2023. At the same time, the technological equipment to be provided by Japan at the request of Ukraine was also among the aid packages made decisively to strengthen Ukraine during the war. In a recent statement by the United States of America, Russia attacks Ukraine's independence threatened, saying that the efforts to annexation condemnation cannot be issued. During the statement, it was also stated that the annexation study has no place in international law. In the continuation of the statement, it was announced by the United States that Ukraine's borders will remain internationally recognized borders, and the United States will continue to support Ukraine. It was announced by Ukraine that the United States will continue to support it militarily and diplomatically for its efforts to retake the regions that they lost because they could not protect their territories during the war. At the same time, the sanctions of the states supporting Ukraine, led by the United States, continue against Russia. Within the scope of the sanctions, not only the political part is included, and the sectors that provide economic support are also affected by the sanctions. Along with the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, the United States of America has also decided to impose sanctions due to Russia's efforts to dominate the territories it has seized. As a result of the sanctions, it was announced that Russia's access to services provided by the West will be cut off. The head of Russia's central bank was among the sanctions decisively imposed in this context. As a result of the sanctions, it was decided to block the travel of the head of the Central Bank of Russia and freeze the assets belonging to him. Similarly, the assets of many businessmen and politicians were frozen. Sanctions on people and institutions that support Russia, especially businessmen and politicians, continue in the same way. Over the past day, air defense missile actions of the Ukrainian Air Force have destroyed a Russian Ka-52 helicopter and 3 unmanned aerial vehicles. According to leading news agencies, the relevant statement was made by the Air Force Command of the Armed Forces of Ukraine on its official social media accounts. The Air Force air defense missile actions that took place on September 30, 2022, destroyed the Ka-52 helicopter belonging to the Russian military unit and unmanned aerial vehicles located at 3 operational strategic levels, the text of the review notes. October 24, 2022 to October 1, 2022, it appears that Russia's total war casualties in Ukraine have reached almost 60,000 soldiers. The onset of an attack by Russian troops, until recently, a total of 400 children have died in Ukraine, and in addition 783 more children were injured. The statement regarding these developments was made on the official social media accounts of the Prosecutor General's Office of Ukraine. As of October 1, 2022, more than 1,182 children in Ukraine were affected by the Russian military action. According to information received from people who are familiar with all these developments, a total of 399 children lost their lives and over 783 sustained injuries at different levels of attack, he said. These disclosed data are not clear results, as they are examined in places where military attacks have been held under occupation for some time and brought back to Ukraine. Currently, the most fatalities in Donetsk, 402, Kharkiv, residential Byrams, 232, Kiev region, 116, Mykolaiv region, 75, Chernihiv region, 68, the Luhansk region, 64, Kherson region, 55, Zaporizhia region, 50, and Dnipropetrovsk, 29, is attracting attention as. On September 30, 2022, 2 10- and 14-year-old children were killed in a missile operation carried out by Russia against a humanitarian event evacuating the city of Zaporizhia. A 3-year-old boy survived the attacks with injuries. In addition to all these developments, a 17-year-old girl was injured yesterday as a result of Russia's October attack on Mykolaiv. On the night of October 1, 2022, as a result of Russia's attack on Mykolaiv, a 3-month-old baby was injured. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video to be informed of the developments at the speed of light.